In the vastness of the cosmos, the Galactic Federation thrived as a conglomerate of interconnected civilizations united by a common pursuit, peace and progress. However, wars were not entirely eradicated. Conflicts occasionally arose between star systems with divergent interests. In such cases, the Federation intervened to mediate and, if necessary, organize controlled wars, where strict rules ensured destruction was contained. Humans, however, were the only species prohibited from participating in these organized battles. It was not due to a lack of ability, but for a reason that few knew. Since humans reached the stars, their impact on the galaxy had been remarkable. Initially seen as young and inexperienced, they quickly demonstrated a combination of creativity and resilience that intrigued and frightened other species. Humans stood out not only for their technological innovations but also for their ability to improvise in extreme situations. This duality fascinated and created tensions within the Federation. Many galactic historians pointed out that Earth itself was a planet of contradictions. Rich in natural resources but also plagued by environmental disasters, it served as a constant school of survival for its inhabitants. Each generation faced challenges that shaped their mindset of adaptation and perseverance. When humans finally left their homeworld, they brought with them this indomitable spirit. The Federation knew humans had the potential to be great allies, but they also recognized the dangers they carried. Stories of past battles between human factions revealed a disturbing pattern. No matter how disadvantaged the situation, humans found a way to win, often through means considered extreme or irrational by galactic standards. The Etherian incident was a prime example. During a refugee crisis in a collapsing system, humans mobilized entire fleets not to fight but to save lives. Thousands were rescued, and the feat was applauded across the galaxy. But what few knew was that, behind the scenes, humans had directly defied Federation orders, prioritizing evacuation even at great risk to their crews. This reinforced their reputation for heroism as well as their stigma of unpredictability. Meanwhile, at the Federation's Central Council, discussions about the role of humans continued. Some representatives argued that excluding them from wars was a waste of military potential. Others believed their involvement could destabilize the entire system. They are a young species, but with a disproportionate capacity for influence, a Tharkanian stated in a secret session. If we want to keep them as allies, we need to better understand their motivations. These tensions were fueled by conflicting reports from peripheral systems. In some, humans were celebrated as saviors. In others, they were feared as insatiable predators. This duality, more than anything else, led the Federation to impose the ban. It was not just about what humans could do but about how other species reacted to what they represented. It was the year 3542 of the Common Era, and Captain Derek Vorn, commander of the Celestial Tempest, received an urgent mission. He was to transport a group of Earth ambassadors to the Federation's Central Council on the planet Krethel 7. The captain knew something unusual was happening. Since Earth had been admitted as a full member of the Federation, humans had been treated with a mixture of reverence and fear, but they had never been summoned to discuss military matters. "Captain, the crew is ready. The portal is stable, and we'll enter hyperspace in 3 minutes," reported Lena Voren, the ship's chief engineer. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity as she adjusted the controls. "Do you think this has to do with the ban?" Derek sighed and crossed his arms. "Probably. The Federation has always been evasive when it comes to our exclusion from galactic wars. Whatever it is, I hope we get some answers soon." Upon arriving at the Central Council, the group was escorted to an imposing chamber. There, the galaxy's greatest powers were gathered. Representatives of millennia-old civilizations, such as the crystalline-bodied Serati and the robust Tharkanians, turned their gazes toward the humans. The main speaker, an elderly with blue skin and elegant features, took the floor. "Humans, you have been summoned to clarify a crucial matter. There was an incident on Lithos 3, where human mercenaries were hired to fight. What occurred there forces us to re-evaluate our policy." Derek frowned. Mercenaries? That's against our interplanetary directives. Humans are not supposed to engage in armed conflicts. The elderly projected a holographic recording. On the screen, a small human army faced a much larger force of Kreltorian combatants. Within seconds, what appeared to be an evenly matched battle turned into a massacre. The humans fought with terrifying efficiency, employing unpredictable and brutal tactics. Their adversaries had no chance. This, the elderly continued, is why you were banned. You do not fight like other species. As the debate continued, an additional recording was displayed. It showed how the humans had improvised a trap using the surrounding environment, a tactic the Kreltorians hadn't even considered. Human adaptability in real time is unparalleled, the elderly said. But it also makes you impossible to predict. Lena Voren couldn't contain her outburst after watching the recording. You speak as if that's a bad thing. Adaptability is what kept us alive on our own planet, which, I might add, tried to kill us at every stage of our evolution. Acerati responded in a cold tone. That is understandable, but it is also a cause for concern. Your species not only survives but dominates any conflict scenario. During a break in the session, Derek met with a Kreltorian representative. You fear us because of one incident? What about the hundreds of peaceful missions we've undertaken? The Kreltorian, with ashen skin and coal-like eyes, replied, We do not fear your intentions but what you could become in an unrestrained conflict. A human at war does not resemble a human at peace. In an attempt to ease tensions, Lena suggested the crew present a detailed report of all the humanitarian missions humans had carried out. This report included the Aetherian evacuation and dozens of other rescue efforts. They need to remember that our instinct to protect is as strong as our capacity to fight, she argued. On the second day of debates, the Council received a hologram of a planet devastated by human centuries before they joined the Federation. This planet has yet to recover, a representative accused. Derek rose to defend his species. That is precisely why we seek peace. Our history is not perfect, but every mistake has taught us something. A little-known detail about humans began circulating in the Council corridors, their ability to cooperate with vastly different species. They don't just survive, they connect, a young elderly suggested, proposing that humans could serve as mediators in interspecies conflicts. A test was proposed. Humans would be sent to a planet where two alien factions had been at war for generations. They could not use force, only diplomacy. The Council would act as observers. If we fail, we will return to our position of exclusion, Derek accepted. But if we succeed, perhaps we can prove there is a place for us beyond the ban. During the mission, Derek and Lena faced extreme obstacles. The two alien factions refused to negotiate and viewed the humans as invaders. Lena used her creativity to improvise a communication technology that translated emotional nuances, helping foster empathy between the rival leaders. By the mission's end, the factions agreed to a ceasefire, something that hadn't happened in centuries. The Council was impressed but cautious. They achieved this without firing a single weapon, a Tharkanian admitted. But what would happen if they were allowed to fight? Upon returning to the Council, Derek delivered a powerful speech. Our potential goes beyond war. We are explorers, builders, and mediators. During our brief existence among you, we have already proven that we are more than conquerors. The galaxy should not see us only as weapons but as partners in collective advancement. Meanwhile, Lena delved deeper into the Federation's confidential archives. She uncovered a disturbing truth. The ban on humans was not solely due to fear of their violence, but because Federation leaders believed humanity could eventually surpass all other species, disrupting the balance of power that upheld galactic peace. The revelation caused a rift within the Council. Some representatives began questioning whether excluding humans was fair or merely an act of self-preservation. If we fear them, it's because we know they possess something we lack, an older elderly stated. Perhaps we should learn from them instead of fearing them. Inspired by this unexpected support, Derek made one final appeal. Let us show what we are capable of building, not destroying. Humanity's true strength lies not in its weapons but in its ability to adapt, learn, and collaborate. The Council, divided, voted. By a narrow margin, humans were granted the chance to prove their worth in a new joint mission with the Federation. Derek, Lena, and their crew were tasked with leading an interspecies initiative to restore a devastated planet and make it habitable again, a symbol of what humanity could achieve in times of peace. The mission was an extraordinary success. Humans and other species worked side by side to rebuild the planet, transforming it into a model of galactic collaboration. For the first time, the Federation began to see humans not as a threat but as a vital force for the future. Upon returning, Derek was welcomed as a hero, but he knew there was still a long way to go. "This is just the beginning," he told his crew. "Trust is earned slowly, but every act counts." The ban was not immediately lifted, but the foundations for a new era of understanding were laid. Humans continued to work tirelessly to prove that, despite their flaws, they were indispensable to the galaxy's balance and progress. Their story among the stars was just beginning.